Welcome back. You're tuned into Mid-Cap Radar. Weakness for the market persists with a fresh bout of selling seen on the Nifty, making a dash towards the low point of the day yet again, falling nearly 100 points from the top. And this time the culprit has been Bank Nifty, which is also trading at the low point of the day. Big cuts coming in from the private sector banks and the public sector banks, more so from the public sector banks, because banks like Bank of India, Punjab National Bank and Canara Bank have also seen a bit of a slippage in the last 5 odd minutes. Also, Kotak Mahindra Bank has slipped about 1.3% in the last 5 odd minutes. So with this weakness persisting, let's talk about some strength. Anant Gawande, the CFO and Whole-time Director of Talwalkar's Fitness, now joins us to tell us about their annual August scheme. Thanks a lot for joining us, sir. Good afternoon. First up, can you give us a sense of how the response to your annual August scheme has been so far?
The annual August scheme, which starts on 1st August, is the scheme which gives us the maximum mileage and revenue during the year. It accounts for 35% of our annual turnover and in excess of 40% of our annual profit. Surprisingly, this year, the scheme can be divided into 2 parts. The first 15 days, which is 1st to 15th August, were extremely robust, very, very high powered, and we got renewals which were extremely high, as well as a higher revenue per person than what we had got last year, which is 2014. Then there was a small phase as the rains petered down. Almost 55 towns in which we have gyms are associated in one form or the other with rainfall. So between 15th August and I would say around 5th September, 1st to 5th September, the scheme was lukewarm. Since first week of September, with the revival of monsoon, the scheme has been doing exceedingly well, and we expect to end the scheme by the end of this month with a significantly better profitability, productivity and turnover than what we had done last year.
Hi Mr. Gawande, afternoon. Could you give us some numbers then? You generally do see the highest footfalls in the monsoon season. How has it been this season? Any numbers?
Actually, we make a significant effort in the monsoon season to try and get in members to come into our gym. These are renewal members or new members. Our renewal percentage is always in the high 70s, maybe between 74 and 76%, as we try and get more members in. I would say the monsoon played out its own role. The first 2 weeks, from 1st to 15th August, as can be seen, we had done very well. After the monsoon petered out all over India, not just in one part of India, but probably in the entire Indian subcontinent. And as monsoon revived and people got the confidence as well as the cropping was done, most of the cropping money comes into the main towns. For example, Solapur will get money from nearby areas into Solapur, or so will Guntur, so will a town like maybe Kakinada, maybe a town like Jalandhar. So those towns which started getting monsoons by the end of August or first week of September started helping us in their own way.
All right, then coming to your joint venture with David Lloyd, Mr. Gawande, could you give us a sense of where where those plans have reached?
The David Lloyd JV, as you know, is an extremely prestigious JV for us, and it is a 50-50 JV where we and David Lloyd are jointly developing the business of clubbing in India as opposed to gymming. So it will have sports, recreation and gymming or allied activities. The first of these clubs will start operations next year in Pune, near the Aun Baner area. We are very confident that by the first quarter of next year, as we have consistently said in variety of forums, we should be able to get in our first long-term members into that club, which is a part of the JV. David Lloyd has been working extremely hard at trying to put in the same systems as are available to David Lloyd worldwide in its 90 clubs across the world. We on the other hand are giving them the local knowledge of India. We think that once the first club is operational, is successful in the first 3 to 6 months, we would be willing to fly from there in terms of both number of clubs which we open and the innovations which we bring within the David Lloyd clubs.
Okay, and finally, considering how strong things are looking from all quarters, do you still maintain that you will be able to hit the 20% bottom line growth for this year?
For the first quarter, we were around that mark. My answer would be that September being a very significant quarter, and we are still about 8-9 days away from closing September, and as you know, there is a final surge at the end of the quarter. I think I can answer this more affirmatively at the end of this quarter, but I have consistently said on behalf of the company that achieving a 20% growth in an industry where knowledge of gymming, fitness and wellness is growing across India should be possible for a company like ours with a diversified portfolio across India. So I still believe that we will be able to grow at that rate, but you will get a much better idea once we come out with our September results.
All right, Mr. Gawande, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining in. Yes, come August, whether you're a fitness enthusiast or not, you definitely do run to the likes of, Talwarkar Fitness and renew your annual pledge to be fit for the coming year. But on that note, it's time to slip into a very short break, but more in the markets when we return.
CNBC TV18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.